And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. You know what? I need to record an intro. I think I said that before. Like, I have the music, but I need to do something with vocal intros, something like that, because I don't have to say it. But then again, that's just fucking being lazy. Just all I say is welcome back to Underdog Pod. Like, just say it, guy. Just say it. Thinking shit out on the fly, man. Whatever. Went to the Buck Stadium last night for NFL draft. It was kind of lackluster. Energy was flat. Just being honest, man. Like as I was sitting there, I was like, man, this past year has been so pumped, and it's like I get it. We picked last, but guess what? That's where you want to fucking pick at in the draft. It means you fucking won the Super Bowl, or you played in the Super Bowl, or something like that, right? I mean, or you could have just gave all your draft picks, but still, if you didn't give up your first round draft pick, then you're good. So, just a quick recap of last night. Like, got there, me and my friend, we got there around like 8 something, whatever. I had to wait for her to get off work, and then it didn't matter anyway. It was picking 32. We was hoping it wouldn't take that long. I could have sworn draft used to be like 2 hours, two and a half, be done by 11 tops. This shit went all the way past fucking midnight, man. NFL is just dragging out shit so they can have more commercials. That's all that shit was. That's all that shit was. Cause when it's day two, day three, they just keep playing that shit. They just keep going. Especially on day three, right? No matter what, the commercials would play, but guess what? They're still making picks. Last night they literally would go to commercial and then there will be no clock going for the team to select. Or you'll come back and all of a sudden the clock starts. And I was like, no, man, fuck that. Run this shit, man. Nobody trying to be able to pass midnight because of the draft. And then so the stadium was flat, and then so we had to wear a mask inside. But the second we sat down, took our masks off, we were eating and drinking stuff. Now I look around, I was like, you know what, fuck it, everybody should. The second everybody sat down, they just took that shit off. Everybody, I think I seen even one of the owners, one of the Glazers, just walk around with no mask on the field. Like, nobody gives a fuck, man. Like it's all for show. Probably because of I think the Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, fuck her. Hey, no, man. We're in Florida. We see Jacksonville having live events. Shit. If you want to wear one, wear one. If you don't want to wear one, don't wear it. Like your medical decision is based upon yourself, you and your personal physician. But mainly, it's still on you. Your personal physician can only give you a recommendation. You ain't gotta listen to that motherfucker if you don't want to. It's your life. YouTube bastards. But it's funny because like the energies felt flat, and then they had the dancers. Now this might be me, you know. I don't care. This is objective. This is objective observation, right? My opinion. In the past, they had this one male dancer, and it's like, okay, he's there because he's good, he's talented, and he wanted to try out. He should be on the team, but he's not there this year. And it looked like they're replacing him with someone else. Or I don't know. This guy was on the field last year. He didn't look familiar. Maybe he just had a different hairstyle or something. He didn't look the same. He didn't look familiar. He didn't look like, yeah, I know he was definitely one of the other guy. And I don't know if he was there last year either. I don't think he was, though. And then you have a female who's a little bit heavy set. Let's be honest, man. She's a little chubby. Like, that's just a factual observation. I'm not being mean, I'm being honest. You're a dancer, right? You're wearing skin tight pants and clothing and outfit and stuff. Even if you are in shape and stuff, because it's skin tight, you're gonna have some excess skin roll over. But I look at her and stuff, and she's not in good shape. She's not in good shape, man. And to me, this seems like, oh, let's have diversity and body images and stuff like that. I don't want forced superficial diversity. What I want is dancers that are in shape and look like they are good physical specimens. Because guess what? That's what they're there for: entertainment. Physical specimens to look decent, to look good, and perform their dances. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple. So I don't know if you gonna have to cut some weight or something, man. That might sound mean, but it's the honest truth. And that's my honest opinion. I don't like you're gonna be out there. You gotta be in shape, man. You're you're performing, and part of your performance is your superficial, your body, really. Not necessarily your face in general. Like you don't have to be super gorgeous or attractive or something like that, but you gotta be in shape. Hell, I need you to be in shape anyway because you're doing this whole dance routine, man. You gotta be in shape, bro. Let's be honest. and and they were dancing, but they were up on the pirate deck, right? And that area was cut off or sectioned off for VIP, and then at the same time, up on the pirate deck for VIP and stuff, nobody can see them. So we're in the people that are on the field because you're allowed to go on the field every now and then, or based on you had to sign up for a time slot to go on the field. It's stupid, which is stupid because the people on the field would just run around. There was no social distancing. They were just on the field together. Most people didn't have no fucking mask on, right? you Cause like I said before, like you accept those risks when you go outside and you interact with other people. You accept the risk of catching any germs, bacteria, viruses, whatever. You always accept those risks. You accept those risks anytime you have sex. We're gonna talk about one of the topics today. Like you accept those risks all the fucking time. So it is what it is. But for them to be like that, just the energy felt kind of flat. Nobody really cheered when the dances got done because fuck, I don't want to look at the screen. Like in the past, they've been on the field. They've been on the field around the midfield logo, and we just circle around them and watch them and stuff. And you can be close to them and so that. And like, but now you gotta sit there and look at them on the screen, even though you're in the stadium with them, and they're just why they not on the field, man. They could have been sectioned off on the field and stuff. Why are they on the fucking pirate deck? It's, it was just it was lackluster. To be honest with you, to me, it should have been a lot better, especially after winning a fucking Super Bowl. It didn't feel like we were Super Bowl champs. And I know Tampa doesn't have the most strongest loyal fan base, loyalty and stuff, but goddamn man, like shout out to all of the fans that was able to hold out there and stick it all the way through till midnight. It was a good handful of us, probably about a good 1,000 maybe. But we stuck it out all the way through midnight. The second that pick was in, everybody got their ass up. It's time to go home. We're tired. You got shit to do the next day and stuff, right? My friend had to go to work and stuff. Of course, I gotta get up, and make sure the kids get to school, and I gotta start my day and everything. Stay on my schedules and to make sure I don't fucking lose my mind. So it was a little lackluster, but they did turn off the lights stuff when it came time to pick, and they fired the cannons. So that brought some energy up, and we were excited. But it still was a flat night. But it's okay because I know when it comes time to training camp, and especially we better have the first game of the season, prime time, Thursday night. They need to give those Super Bowl rings, that trophy, all that shit. That's gonna be electric. I want a full fucking stadium. Whether no restrictions. You wanna wear a mask, wherever the fuck you wanna do, but no restrictions. Full fucking stadium. Tampa, Thursday night, wherever fucking night it's gonna be and stuff. Prime time. Drop the flag, the banner and stuff. That's what I can't wait for. I cannot fucking wait for that. It's gonna be hype. They better not fuck this up for me. I swear to God, that Tampa Mariners better not fuck this shit up for me, man. Overall, though, I still had it was a relaxing, chill night. I don't get out of the house that much without the kids, so it was nice to do that and stuff, whatever. And then shout out to my mom for helping me with the kids, so appreciate that. That was good though. It was a good little night and stuff. Man, shit. So another recap. Fuck you, YouTube, Google, Alphabet Inc. They denied my appeal. Like I'm pretty sure they denied that bitch in like 5 minutes. Like, cause I checked my email at 1:32. I had checked my email and stuff later on, and it was at like I had seen that they sent an email at 1:32 and denied the appeal. I was like 1:32. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, damn, did they? I think they denied that shit while I was still recording, while I was still doing a live stream. That's crazy, right? I was like, fuck. I was like, did y'all even look at anything? Like, in my appeal, I still just asked a question because, like, tell me exactly what it is, man. How can if you don't want me to violate the community guidelines, and yeah, you can say read the community guidelines, blah blah. No, because I did nothing but talk from government sources, right? Prominent sources. So if that's the problem, then I need to know exactly. Like, tell me exactly. Even fuck the community guidelines. If you're gonna take down my video, tell me exactly what it is I'm doing, so you can help me, so I don't do it again. If I want to continue to upload content onto your platform, now fuck it, man. Fuck it. So they got a problem with me talking about vaccines, contradicting so-called consensus of local experts, and well, fuck that. Guess what we're gonna do today? Talk about fucking some more vaccines. Shit. What they gonna do? Take down the channel? Good for them. Doesn't matter. I do this because I enjoy doing it. There's no incentive at all other than my own therapeutic incentive that I get out of this shit. So if YouTube wants to take this shit down and take my channel down, well, they can do that. And guess what? We're gonna go down fighting. I'm not that type of person to lay down. Ain't no get down, lay down. Like, no. What? State property? No. I'm not just gonna lay down for you. I'm gonna go out swinging. Wherever happens, happens. I accept the result of my actions. Wherever happens, happens. So you got an article here from abcnews.go.com. It says children as young as 6 months old now in COVID-19 vaccine trial. Fucking insanity. Fucking insanity. Fucking insanity, man. Fucking insanity. Fucking insanity. You do not need to have a 6-month-old going. 6 months. There's already only certain shots you're going to get, or you're going to give to an infant anyway, right? And they want to give an experimental, because that's what it is. I don't give a shit what they say. It's experimental. And now you want to give experimental COVID-19 vaccine. I mean, they ain't even saying it is a trial. To children. Let's watch the video. I feel like she's going to say some dumb shit.
To get more American adults to sign up for a COVID-19 vaccine, researchers are working on the next phase of the fight against the coronavirus, protecting young children. Both Pfizer and Moderna are in active clinical trials for their vaccines.
They want to protect young children from COVID-19, but they won't protect young children from pedophiles in Hollywood.
Children under the age of 16. ABC's Kana Whitworth has an inside look at the trials and those families taking part.
Our pedophiles in Congress and the White House.
Nearly 140 million American adults have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, with more than 96 million adults fully vaccinated against the deadly disease.
See, buddy?
And now
90 million, bro. 90 fucking million. God, it got y'all. Got it. This dude got a pie shirt on. Pi 3.1415927. I think it's as far as I ever remembered.
At work conducting vaccine trials on the youngest generation, which many doctors believe is crucial to reaching herd immunity.
Children under 18 make up 85 million people in this country, so that's about 20% of the population.
So let's vaccinate all of them.
Contribution to reducing transmission of the virus.
Today, kids as young as 6 months old are taking part in trials.
Wait a minute. I thought kids had a low transmission rate, right? Didn't Fauci even say that shit back in like October or something like that? Because he was like, oh, kids can go to school now. There's no reason why kids shouldn't be in school or something like that. Like, it's been proven over time and stuff that they have a low transmission rate and stuff like that. But now you want to, in order to get herd immunity. See, they're not going to stop with this shit, bro. They're going to keep going and keep going. You think you're going to stop at COVID-19? I think I did a video on one movie. I forget what it was called. But it was talking about COVID-24. Like, they're not going to stop, man. They're going to keep going over and over and over. You think it'll be a new vaccine shot every fucking year. Because even their little vaccines, whatever they're trying to do with it, the human body is incredibly resistant, incredibly resilient. So whatever they're trying to do, well, these vaccines will not be accomplished in one shot, two shot in your lifetime. You will have to do this annually, over and over and over and over. Most people don't even get the fucking flu shot every year. Yet they're ready to jab kids with this shit. How's that not inhumane? I'm sorry. Look at this little baby, bro. Look at this little baby. How is that not inhumane? I felt so bad when my kids were getting shot. Not because they cried or it hurt for them, because I was sitting there thinking, I can't believe I'm allowing myself to have my kids injected with some shit I don't even fucking know about. Till this day, those aren't my best parenting decisions. And then they still gotta get one more shot before they go into 7th grade. My daughter gotta get one this summer. But it's a booster of what she already has anyway, so it's nothing new. But still, it's one of those things that I always have to think about, man, because you never know what might pop up down your genetic history. your genetic information. Like it might trigger something. You don't know. They don't fucking know. Or do they? Do those so-called experts know? They just ain't saying nothing. But I guess it's just my opinion. I'm not a medical expert. Man, kiss my ass, you two.
Both Moderna and Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines with their parents' consent.
With their parents' consent.
Dr.
You do that shit without it.
Both her sons in Stanford Hospital's Pfizer trial.
So we thought participating is a really good way to protect our kids.
I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. But don't worry. I'll fucking say it. You know she probably got some type of green. She not even, like, what is she? Was she just getting to this country recently, right? That accent kind of fucking heavy, right? I'm just saying. You know, you're thinking it. I'm thinking it. Somebody gonna fucking say it. I'll say it. Kind of sketchy. Is she truly American? Right? What's going on? Like, are those her kids? Like, hey, I'll ask these questions, man. I'll ask these questions because, I mean, that young, you put your kids in a vaccine trial, right? Like, what type of compensation are you getting for this? Because you're experimenting on your own children. Like, that has to feel some type of way as a parent, like, to know that you're experimenting on your own children. Whether you believe in the vaccines and they work and all this other stuff, it's just still like, do you want to do that for your kids? This is fucking insane, bro. This is insane.
And so far, because this vaccine has been tested in a lot of teenagers and so many adults, and it was shown very safe, we felt pretty comfortable.
Teenagers, adults, teenagers going through puberty, adults outside of puberty. You're talking about prepubescent infants, children, toddlers. You don't know what the fuck is going to happen, but guess what? That's why they're doing this trial, because they don't know what is going to happen. That's why they need some test subjects to experiment on to find out what will happen. Hell, if anything, this is all one money making machine. It's like, okay, let's see how fast we can make a vaccine up, and let's see what happens. I mean, hell, human species alone is a whole big ass social experiment. So everybody out here fucking winging it. So you don't think they're out here winging it with these vaccines, bro? It's experimental. I don't care what YouTube says, man. Medical misinformation. How's that medical misinformation? The fuck? It's experimental. Trials. Like, you're experimenting. You don't know what might happen. Just accept it. You don't know what might happen. That's not medical misinformation. That's medical fact. Medical fact.
To participate.
7-month-old Soren, one of the youngest in the trial, received his first shot last week. Mom says he's doing well. His older brother, 3-year-old Andal, also got the shot.
Did he experience any side effects from the vaccine?
He had a sore arm for a day and was a little bit low on energy for like a day, but yes, that's not much.
We're not sure it's even side effects. He might have just, been tired that morning.
Dr. Good.
We're not sure it's a side effect. He might have just been tired that morning. He was so tired that morning that his arm was sore. And kids, man, here's the fucked thing about all this. Kids can't speak for themselves, clearly, because their brains aren't developed. Their neurological pathways aren't up there yet to have good speech patterns yet, because, they're still growing. Neuroplasticity. I think I'm saying that word right. Brains are expanding and shit like that. So they can't even speak for themselves to really be like, hey, they could be like, hey, my arm is messed up, but hey, this hurts, that hurts too. And like, kids like, they just try to point at something like, what's wrong? Oh, your tummy hurts? No, I got shit my fucking pants because you put a fucking thing in my arm. I don't know what the fuck is going on now. This is insane, man. This is insane. Like, call it what it is.
An
Can't believe this
immunologist
shit.
who has studied the virus at length and says she and her husband are confident in the safety of the vaccine.
The data is very clear. Those who get vaccines.
Wait, is she a what?
Of the vaccine is an immunologist who has studied
Even side effects. He might have just, been tired that morning.
Dr. Good is an immunologist who has studied the virus at length and says she and her husband are confident.
So she's a doctor. You don't think scientists are above experimenting on their own kids? Experimenting on themselves? It's scientists, man. Scientists, sometimes they look at things too objectively without any empathy or sympathy. Right? They're too analytical. They're too logical. That's what happens when we stray too far to one end of the polarity of the spectrum. Right? Too far logical, become too analytical, too much of a computer. You lack emotion, empathy, sympathy. Then you're too emotional, then you lack the ability to have logical thinking. You have to find a balance in between. Balance in between will tell you, hey, you know what? Even though this might work on kids, or maybe I'm not gonna do it on my kids. I'm not gonna do it on my kids. Right? Nope. I guess not for her.
Safety of the vaccine.
The data is very clear. Those who get vaccines, like these mRNA vaccines, at least they are protected, and they don't really have any real side effects or long-term.
The mRNA vaccines, at least, they don't have any real side effects, even though people have been dying from the vaccines. So I guess it wasn't the Pfizer or Moderna mRNA vaccines, huh? I guess it was just the Johnson & Johnson with the red blood clots and stuff. Oh my. This Twilight Zone is an understatement to call this. I have to be in a whole completely alternate reality. Like, I'm almost convinced. I don't care how crazy I sound, because if I sound crazy, imagine how the rest of you motherfuckers sound to me. Because logic then left the room. Once again, it's not the rapper. The logic, rational thinking has been gone. I don't know what to say about any of these people, man. It's just none of that makes sense. None of it makes sense. The data is clear. The data is clear. Yeah, they always say the data is clear. No, it's not. That's the whole point of science. It's never exactly clear. It can't be clear anyways, because there's not been extensively years-long testing, rather. No one knows how this will affect anybody 10 years down the road, because 10 years down the road has not fucking happened. What happens 5, 10 years down the road? People start dropping dead and shit. Oh my God. Oh, sterilization is definitely happening. This definitely happened. I mean, to be honest with you, this whole scenario was an episode on Stargate SG-1. That's what takes me a long time to watch that show, because every time I watch the episode, it's something else pops up. I'm like, God damn, well, this is kind of relevant to today. But it was an alien species coming in, and they wanted to take out the human beings. So in the way they did it, they faked it as if like there was a virus going around and stuff, and they had the cure, the vaccination. Everybody was really healthy, but at the same time, no kids have been born for like a generation and stuff. So they destroyed the human species by making everybody sterile, and no one was able to reproduce. This literally could be straight up population control, right? In the sense of controlling the numbers of the population. Because if you're gonna do it, this is the best way to do it. Yeah, they're definitely taking me down on YouTube. This, I guess my case manager or wherever on my channel, so you're definitely gonna take all this shit down. I'm definitely gonna be deleted from here, whatever. But it's true though, man. Like, it's true. Let's be honest about this. It's fucking true. I guess I can always upload on Rumble, huh? I got an account, I just don't ever use it. But if you don't know what type, it literally could sterilize everybody. Like, it literally can sterilize everybody. And now you literally have a whole, multiple generations? Why do you think they want to give it to young kids, even though they're not affected? What happens when we sterilize a whole generation of like 80, 90 million people of a population? You do the math. Kind of cut some people out, right? Bye human species.
Long-term consequences.
That's just
Dr.
conspiracy
Angela
theory.
McCour's 3-year-old daughter is also in the trial.
Hey, how about that?
That's it.
Look at you, brave kid.
Gosh, you are the bravest.
She says she feels strongly that doing this isn't just about keeping her child safe.
We're just so lucky that we have a healthy child, and so grateful that she's able to be part of this. But I think knowing that there are so many other parents out there whose children are vulnerable and
children are vulnerable. If your children are vulnerable, if your children are vulnerable, you already know that, and you'll be trying to get them healthy, nutritious, doing all things to keep them healthy and stuff. I understand this. We're also talking about a modern civilization that doesn't even do breastfeeding, the most natural thing, right? It goes with my kids too. My ex-wife, she breastfeed for a little bit. She breastfeed for a while. My daughter and my son was for a little bit, but ended up still being processed milk or that dry milk stuff, right? That's another thing I had to think about, right? Like nobody stops and really thinks about the small details, the everyday observational uh, uh, details, or the everyday choices that we make in our diet, nutrition, our sleep patterns, all types of shit. All these things that affect your body, that affects your overall health of your body. That's medical. Oh, you know what? My fault. It's medical misinformation. I forgot. It's medical misinformation. I can't sit here and say, oh, you should probably take care of yourself. You know, natural things, organic things, stuff like that. Not consume too many chemicals. Maybe chill out on the sodas. Too much high fructose corn syrup, soy. Watch out for red dye. 3, 6. Maybe I shouldn't say that, huh? Because I'll get my shit taken down.
Maybe struggling, and they're really waiting for the vaccine to become a reality. Her being able to be part of this and make that as a reality for other families, and as a mom, I can't imagine what that fear must be like for them. We're just so proud of her.
Outside of a fever, a rash at the injection site, did they talk to you about any potential side effects?
I know that in very extreme and rare circumstances, like they couldn't even give us a rate for this, there's the risk of anaphylaxis. And again, she hasn't had any kind of reaction to other vaccines, so not something I was very concerned about. But it also brought us a lot of comfort that we were doing this across the street from the hospital.
Both families tell ABC News they understand the potential risks of taking part in the trial.
Across the street from the hospital.
Any risks are far outweighed by the potential protection of the vaccine.
When it comes down to it, it's about weighing the risk.
Protection from the vaccine. Wait. So also understand that you're getting a vaccine for something that if you take care of your body and healthy, you'll be all right. This is the arrogance of human beings. To think that, oh, we're going to whip up something in the kitchen to give to you to boost your natural immune system that's been in development for millions of years. This is what happens when you don't have a spiritual nation. Not religious, but a spiritual nation. When you don't have a society that believes in something higher than themselves. The arrogance of we can perfect what has already been taking place for millions of years. God damn, that's a downfall of the human species, bro. I'm calling it. The downfall of the human species. I'm calling it right now.
What are the risks of the vaccine and what are the risks of the virus? And the risks of the virus are pretty clear.
These vaccines have been given to tens of millions of people around the world.
But there's billions of people around the world.
Vaccines have been shown to be extremely safe and appear to be highly effective. And my hope is that we will see the same thing for children.
These are not absolute statements.
Killed at least 573,000 Americans since the pandemic began.
False numbers.
Fewer than 450 of
CDC claims, not mine either.
The age of 18.
Children can become infected. Children can transmit to other people. Can become infected.
Fewer
than 450 of those deaths were under the age of 18. And then they say, so that's 450 divided by what they say, 80 million under the age of 18. You do the math on that. Why would you give your kid a COVID-19 vaccine? Now, to each their own. You want to do it, go ahead and do it. If it psychologically makes you feel better, you go ahead and do it. But don't sit here and try to break it down rationally and logically, because that's an inaccurate statement. That's an inaccurate thought process. If you want to do it for emotional, psychological reasons, hey, it makes me feel better, then you go ahead and do that shit. That's your prerogative. That's your right. But for me, I tend to try to be a little bit more logical about my decision making. And I try to have a little bit of balance in between logic and emotion. And my logic and emotion says, I'm good. We'll take our chances.
450 of those deaths were under the age of 18.
children can become infected.
Oh my God.
Children can transmit to other people, and they can actually become symptomatic as well. So yes, it doesn't seem to act the same way as it does in adults and older children, but it definitely does infect them.
You know, these are all theories, right?
Dr. Steve Plimpton
These are all
is the
theories.
principal investigator for Moderna's trial in children.
We're also going to be protecting those around those children, the teachers, the parents at home, the grandparents at home. So that's the unspoken benefit of this study.
Because your immune system does not protect you.
All kids will follow up for their second shot after 28 days, and in Pfizer, 21 days later. Researchers refer to this as a dosing trial as they try to figure out how much of the vaccine kids can tolerate and how much they need to be protected. After researchers find an appropriate dose with the younger children, they move on to the second part of the trial. And
so what happens if you fuck up and like, we probably gave him too much?
Splitting the kids into a placebo and a treatment group.
So we'll follow these children out for a year.
They are literally testing on kids. Yet it's a crime if I sit here and say that the government and all these institutions, these medical, pharmaceutical companies, whatever, they're not above testing things on children, or they're not above testing things on human beings, on adults, and now they're testing things on children. You can see how as a society we don't actually give that much. We don't give a fuck about kids. As a society in America, we don't give a fuck about kids. We don't. Because when you're talking about your politicians, your mainstream media, your so-called doctors and all that stuff, they don't give a fuck about kids. Because if they did, you don't experiment on kids because they're already in a developmental stage. You don't know how any outside factors will mess up their developmental progress. It will mess up their development, right? You don't know what might happen. And they're literally telling you they don't know what might happen. But as a trial, they're saying, oh, well, it's been tested on other people. So it should be really good. I feel overconfident it's safe. But listen to what I feel. The data says, well, it seems like this. These are not absolute statements. Understand that. They are just fucking guessing. But when they guess and they theorize, literally conspiracy theories, when they make up shit, because it's a crime, right? They're conspiring to inject kids that could potentially make them sick on the false pretenses, right? Yet, no one says anything, even though it's literal fucking conspiracy theory. But no one says anything. Crimes against humanity. Why are you experimenting on kids? That phrase alone should never even be uttered. To experiment on kids. Let kids be kids and grow up into their adult bodies. Part of being a kid is fighting off that shit. When I was a kid, you had to fight off chicken pox. Now, because of wherever the vaccination is, chicken pox has just been gone. But guess what else has been in the rise? Autism. Other defect stuff. It seems to be almost a normal thing for children to have a spot in their heart. I think both my kids had a spot in their heart when they were in the womb, being carried by their mother. And I was like, oh, it's okay. We'll just keep an eye on it. It seems like a little hole or something. We'll keep an eye on it and it should be fine. Yet, heart disease is the number one killer in America. Come on, man. No one's paying attention to the detail. No one's using their critical thinking skills to connect these dots. You're not fucking conspiracy theory. You're not some crazy person because you connect the dots. The dots are connecting because they fucking connect. They shouldn't be connecting. Right? I have a friend that was saying, he was like, man, some things connect. This stuff shouldn't connect. But it connects, and that's the fucked up thing about it. And it's true. It shouldn't connect. But it's right there. Don't ignore the obvious. There's someone in the fucking scrubs talking to you and shit.
Pfizer's study involves 5,000 kids nationwide, and they say they hope to have the results by winter. In the meantime, doctors say protecting against variants.
They hope. See? All you hope, themes, feel, sounds.
Spreading in children will remain a challenge. For now, the vaccines are holding up against all known COVID-19 variants.
No, it's not. People are still getting COVID-19. Why did you sit there and lie? People are still getting COVID-19 after getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Why did they sit there and lie? Why did the Detroit News? I just showed the last episode, and for episode 121, Detroit News, people were dying after the vaccine. We're just going to ignore that.
Participating in the trial, some peace of mind, knowing their children may have early protection.
Not knowing
may have. Kind of once again, they're not saying absolute statements because it's experimental. It's a trial. They don't know what will happen. They're just guessing. Actually, you know what? They are guessing, but I think they're lying about their confidence in this. This may have this, may be that.
Come back later in life, like those things concern me. And we know that she'd probably be fine if she got COVID now, but who knows what would happen down the road.
She'll probably be fine, but who knows what will happen down the road. And because that uncertainty of what will happen down the road, you should have extreme hesitancy towards giving your kid a vaccine that's experimental and that's going through a trial period.
So again, protecting her in that way.
Logic over emotion in this argument.
Lindsay, Pfizer has already completed their trial on older kids, so they have applied to the FDA for emergency use authorization on kids as young as 12.
Emergency use.
Fauci predicts that by the beginning of 2022, all kids could be eligible to receive a vaccine.
Oh, that's so great.
Kana, thank you.
Look how they're like patting themselves on the back. Oh, this is so great. All kids will be eligible to get the vaccine. We can have everyone vaccinated. This is great. We'll be able to fight the COVID-19. What the fuck type of shit is this, man? You're not doing this for one. There's no AIDS. There's no HIV vaccine, right? No, there's no real preventive measures for cancer, right? Other than to eat healthy, exercise, and do all good different things, and don't have that, and pay attention to your nutrition, right? All these different things. Like, is everyone getting a flu vaccine every year? No. COVID-19 is the same thing as the flu, right? Oh, it's not even, but all the symptoms just happen to be exactly the same. But it's not the same thing as flu. Okay. Fuck these people, man. You got an article here from Reuters. Let's continue on with the stupidness or the irrational thinking of these fucking people around the world, man. So this article here from Reuters says, wear a mask while having sex. Canada's top doctor suggests. Fuck these people. Man, fuck this, man. Make fun of these people. Like, I try to say not make fun of people, but come on. This is getting so beyond ridiculous, man. It's getting me so beyond ridiculous. Like, this shit is so stupid, man. You gotta someone has to call this shit out, man. Because we're all thinking it. We're all thinking it, man. We're all sitting there like, yo, this is kind of insane. Like, we never done this before in modern human history. And this is, over this past year, COVID-19 has proven to not be nothing. Right? And that's just not my words. Those are statistics, right? Trust the data. You look at the data, go to, what is it, worldhealthinfo.info or something like that. Trust the data. They don't talk about the amount of people that recover from COVID-19. They'll show you the numbers. They'll talk about the deaths, and the deaths are skewed because of comorbidities that they won't talk about either. All the different things we'll talk about over the past year. You can look up all the shit for yourself. But they won't talk about it on mainstream media. Why are they pushing all this so much? All this fucking propaganda. What is so important? Why they want us to take this vaccine so damn bad? And that is the question you really should be asking yourself. Why do they want us to take this vaccine so fucking bad? What is so important about this vaccine that they're saying, hey, you guys really should take this. You guys really should take this. And then they get up there and fake it like, oh yeah, see, I took it. So you guys are good. You can take it too. No. It's not something that's for everybody, man. Like I said, if you want to do it, you do it. That's your choice. That's your prerogative. Me? I'm saying no. I'm going to say no. I got enough vaccination and stuff. I'm good. So with this, it says skip kissing. So this is from Ottawa. Obviously, it said Canada. So skip kissing and consider wearing a mask when having sex to protect yourself from catching the coronavirus. Canada's chief medical officer said on Wednesday, adding that going solo remains the lowest risk sexual option in a pandemic. I guess I'm good. That's my preventative measures. Going solo. I don't know about you, but when you're having sex your DNA is being shared with another human being. But I guess if you're having sex with a condom, then you're good. So you can have sex with a condom, and condoms ain't that great anyways. I mean, and it's kind of damn near impossible to have absolutely no skin-to-skin contact while you're having sex. Condom or not. Skip kissing, apparently. You're still gonna sweat on each other and stuff like that, you know. Like this, how do you rationalize this to make it make sense? Make this shit make sense. Says Dr. Teresa Tam said in a statement, there is little chance of catching COVID-19 from semen or vaginal fluid, but what? What? Did it just shit on everything I know about biology, basic biology? Hold on, I gotta read this again. Let me. All right, let me read this again. Dr. Teresa Tam said in a statement, there is little chance of catching COVID-19 from semen or vaginal fluid, but sexual activity with new partners does increase the risk of contracting the virus, particularly if there is close contact like kissing. Little chance? How is there a little chance of catching it from semen or vaginal fluid? Fluid in general, your DNA, right? Oh my god. Oh my god. I guess the virus gonna go to your nutsack. Is that what it's telling me? It doesn't go to your vagina. The virus doesn't go down there. It says like other activities during COVID-19 that involve physical closeness. Oh fuck that. Skip kissing. Avoid face-to-face closeness. You know, that whole emotional connection that goes along with sex. I know some of you guys just have sex just to stick your dick in something, or have your vagina, have your dick sticking to your vagina, wherever you do with your sexual lifestyle. That's your business. But I know some of y'all think you can avoid close. You don't think of sex as emotional. You just get your rocks off and stuff. But the power of sex is completely undermined, especially in American society, American culture in this country. It's completely devalued. The way we throw sex around. I'm not saying you gotta be a prude and stuff, almost like myself. But what I'm saying is, just have some value in it, bro. It's a actual experience that a lot of energy is transferred between you and that other person. A lot of connection. It's a spiritual thing as well, a spiritual connection between two entities. Yet, I know, that's what makes us a little more evolved than fucking, animals and stuff, right? Besides dolphins and some other species that enjoy sex, but we are able to have a bigger conscious awareness of our sexual activities with our sexual partner. But they're saying avoid face-to-face closeness. But that's the whole point of sex. Is face-to-face closeness. Don't worry, at some point they'll probably make that shit virtual. Right? Like, what is it? Like Demolition Man. Actually, that shit's starting to come more true every day. It's kind of scary. Go check out that movie, Demolition Man. I gotta do a breakdown on that movie now I think about it. But yeah, it's starting to come like that, right? It's starting to come like that. Well, yeah, after a while it's gonna be, we can't have sex at all. Just do virtual sex. I mean, it's already knocking on the door of that, right? Hell, Twitch basically is already opening up for that shit, anyways, through Amazon. It was like all the little half-naked streamers stuff. Oh, it's okay. You can circumvent their guidelines, whatever, if you just be taking a bath in a bikini. Hey, whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. In fact, I say just let it all happen. Fuck it. Let it all happen. Put some adult content on it, markers, whatever, so that. Let it happen. If you want to be that person, be that person. So it says, wear a mask that covers your mouth and nose. It's funny because eyes, ears, orifices, doesn't matter. I guess you don't have to close those up. And monitor yourself and your partner for symptoms ahead of any sexual activity. Yeah. So no heat of the moment passion sex for you at all. They're like, hey, before we have this, you haven't had a temperature or anything. You haven't been coughing or anything. Well, I was sneezing a little bit. So, oh damn, how much were you sneezing? Well, I think I just had an attack, but it actually was kind of happening all day. Oh, well, we can't have sex. Oh yeah, you're probably right. hopefully I won't be sneezing in like the next couple of days, and then we can have sex then. All right, yeah. So let's schedule it for 4 o'clock on Saturday. Sounds good. that's that's where we're going with this, man. And you can't say that's ridiculous because we're already living in the era of ridiculousness to the extreme. The fucked up thing is apparently there's a whole nother level of extreme that this shit can possibly go. Fucking stupid, man. Sexual health is an important part, blah blah. It says Canada has reported 129,425 cases of COVID-19. Oh, fuck that. How many cases? Oh, what the fuck? I just seen someone go out past my my backsliding doors. I don't know if that was a cat, dog, animal, some big ass fucking thing, or it was just a trash bag. I just seen some black thing just go by. That shit scared the fuck out of me. I'm not even gonna lie. It just freaked the hell out of me. I was like, wait, what? Oh, wow. But yeah, I want to know how many actually transmitted COVID-19 cases has happened with through sexual activity. Yeah, that's something interesting. So we got another article here from Reuters. Oh man. It says so it's more environmental news. It says urgent methane cuts needed to rein in climate change, UN says. Remember, the dude from CNN told us that climate change is going to be the biggest push in media. So now we're going to slowly taper off the pandemic and push on because they got most of y'all vaccinated and stuff. So now they're going to push us on to this climate change. You're going to have you holding in your farts and shit. Biden wants to cut out meat and shit and not have one hamburger a month. I mean, I don't know how I guess come 4th of July, better not have those hamburgers. That's or if you do, you're consuming half your month's half of the year's red meat consumption for you. These people want to control. If you haven't noticed, they want to control anything and everything that they can, as much as that will allow them to control. It says deep cuts in the methane emissions, including the fossil fuel industry, are urgently needed to slow the rate of global warming and keep it beneath the threshold agreed by world leaders, according to a UN report due to be released next week. So because this is agreed upon by world leaders, we gotta go with it. You see how this works? That's why I don't like this whole. That's why I don't like presidents and stuff. I don't like leaders. And trust me, I know I contradict myself by voting. I didn't think my vote would count anyways. Probably didn't. I don't think I'll ever vote again either. I don't know. Because I'm just tired of the whole concept of these leaders and stuff. No, there are no leaders, man. You vote people to represent you, right? If they go along with what you're saying, but there are no leaders. I don't need nobody to be a leader for me. Because you're making decisions based on what? I don't need you to make decisions based on what you think is best for me. I make my own decisions what I think is best for me. We can't go down this route of having leaders and stuff like that, man. There's too many of us. There's too many of us with our own individual perspective. 8 billion people, right? Almost 8 billion people. Guess what? You have 8 billion perspectives. Everyone has their own unique perspective. No matter how small the skew of the perspective is, the detail of the perspective is, it's still a unique perspective in its own. So to sit here and say, oh, these people can make decisions for us? No, they don't need to make decisions for nobody. Hell, they probably can't make decisions in their own fucking lifestyle, in their own personal homes, right? Let's be honest. The governments are increasingly looking at methane emissions as they seek solutions to cap warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. It doesn't even matter, man. None of this shit matters. The planet is naturally warming. It's going to warm and it's going to cool. Guess what? It's called an ice age cycle. Been happening for millions of years. They know this. Science knows this. When they study the ice caps, all that, they know this. What's the problem? There's nothing you can do about it. Eventually, the planet will cool off. It will probably within the next 10,000 years, wherever the number is. Eventually, the planet will cool off. Hell, if anything, I feel like these motherfuckers want to accelerate that shit, so they can make us do even more fucked up things. It says urgent steps must be taken to reduce methane emissions this decade, according to a summary of the global methane assessment seen by Reuters ahead of its publication by the United Nations Environment Program and the Climate and Clean Air Coalition next week. So that's not a partnership between them, the Union, the United Nations, the UN, and Reuters. How come they get to see it before the shit's released? So they can go ahead and put out this propaganda message out there, so they can go ahead and put a spin on the narrative. Because how many people are going to read it now? I gotta make sure I keep an eye out for this to read this shit. Fuck them. It said currently available measures could reduce human caused methane emissions by up to 45%, or 180 million tons a year by 2030. 2030. Oh, that's not. What? That's a magical year, right? Agenda 2030. That's a magical year. They're on a time scale. The real question should be, why are they on this time scale for 2030? Well, what's so important that everything has to happen by 2030? It says that would avoid nearly 0.3 degrees Celsius of global warming by the 2040s, it said. Bullshit. Arrogance of human beings, thinking that what you do matters that much on a planetary scale. The planet is fucking huge. Hell, even if you think the Earth is flat, it's still fucking huge. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. Check out my past podcast episodes where I talked about some of this climate change stuff and talk about even the whole theory about overpopulation and stuff, when majority of the population around the whole world can comfortably fit, I think, in Texas. The size of Texas. It's 8 billion people, but, we don't take up that much space, man. The planet is huge, man. Far across the country of the United States of America, you'll see a lot of nothing, right? You'll see a lot of fucking nothing. You'll see a lot of forest, a lot of green. I get it. We still need to protect the planet and stuff like that, because you don't fuck up where you live at. You take care of your household. You take care of your residents. This is our resident. We are resident of Earth, right? So we probably should take care of this motherfucker. That goes without saying. But it's also interesting to note that just because the Industrial Revolution happened over the past 100 years, so all of a sudden now we're fucking up everything. How can you even make that calculation when your scale or when the context of your data is limited, or as far as the time frame of your data is limited? If you've only been collecting data on this stuff for over 100 years, it's been going down. Well, is that a coincidence, or is that a cause and effect? It's a real thing, or is it neither? And it's just correlation. It's just going alongside what is already happening anyways, and now you're trying to connect the dots. It's funny, nothing is a coincidence, yet at the same time, that has nothing to do with anything. It's already happening. The planet is already going through its changes. Ice age. We don't. How do people think the ice age happened? It just happened, right? The planet was warming at some point, and then it cooled down before human beings were industrialized to that extent that we know of, at least on that large scale. So, do we have anything to do with the ice age? Right? Do we have anything to do with dinosaurs going extinct? Even though they said dinosaurs evolved into birds, so therefore dinosaurs didn't go extinct at all. Think about dinosaurs, man. Some of that shit don't even make sense. When you actually think about a lot of stuff they say, it don't make sense. Dinosaurs, I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to leave that for a whole different episode. Let's see what else it says. The report said the fossil fuel sector has the biggest potential to slash methane emissions. They ain't going to do it but control the shit, right? That's all it is. If they could cut off one supply and control the manufacture of another supply, then they can, there you go, they control it. Fossil fuels account for 35% of human caused methane emissions, while agriculture contributes 4%, and waste such as landfills account for 20%, it said. It's fun because, like I said, I don't think there's no coincidences. And because of these numbers and stuff, you're like, oh, well, we have to be a direct effect of it. We have to trust the numbers, because the people that are doing these studies are also the ones that advocate and saying we're causing all this. So are they doing this without a bias? Is this data unbiased? Is this data unbiased? That's the biggest question. Because I don't know, and we won't know, because some of these people, these scientists, have been politicized for a long time, and they have their own agendas. Hell, if anything, they're just trying to collect the paycheck. Hey, I'll say what you need me to say. Give me some money. Because still don't stop people from having fucking their personalized jets and stuff, right? It's still not gonna stop all these billionaires and these people with the money and stuff to still have, like I said, their private jets and their fancy cars and all these other things. Everybody ain't driving around electric cars. It's funny because they want you to drive around electric cars and stuff, right? But lithium, it's a natural gas. You still have to mine for that, right? It's like, I don't understand. It's not, what is it, more efficient? It's just a different alternative. But I mean, if you go out to Tesla's work and stuff, you already have free energy. So what is this about? Control? Seems what it's always about, control. And they make up numbers that make you feel like it goes along with it. So you have an article here from NBC News talking about FDA poised to ban menthol cigarettes this week, expert predict. And this is from the 26th. So the action would not remove menthol tobacco from stores immediately, but rather kick off the rulemaking process to do so, which could take several years. You know they're lying, right? You know they're lying. You really think it's going to take several years? They'll do a one sweeping thing because they'll guilt you into that shit. They'll guilt you into it, like, oh, well, this and that. So, well, you're going to feel bad about it. Same as they're doing with the vaccine stuff, with COVID-19. They try to guilt you into it. All this shit is a guilt trip. It's propaganda. It's play on your emotions. It's trying to make you feel like you're a horrible person. Oh, you don't care about grandmothers and people in the hospital, the older people. You don't care about young kids and stuff, whatever. You don't want to wear your mask. You want to wear a vaccine. Oh, you must hate everybody. Nah, man. I can't keep you safe. Especially when we're talking about your own personal immune system, because that's your own personal choices and how you impact your own personal health. I can't do anything for you. Because if I am trying to do something for it, I'll say, hey, stop eating less McDonald's, right? Stop eating less fast food. Try to grow your own food. Eat local stuff. Pay attention to the pesticides and different chemicals that goes into your food. You don't have to buy organic necessarily. Just pay attention to the ingredients and what goes on in food. Have a balance of, hey, maybe we'll have soda maybe a couple times a month, as opposed to, drinking soda every day or something like that. Like, it's all these different little things that you can do, right? And from one human being to another human being, if I tell you something like that or suggest it or be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I mean, it seems to be kind of helping me. I don't know, you figure it out yourself, though. That's all you can do. That's being humane right there to each other. Not these superficial things that we think might help psychologically, but it's not really helping physically. Once again, not my words. Not my words. National Institute Health Study. Look it up. That's not my words. They said the math have adverse effect. That's not my words. I'm just reciting information. I'm just spitting out the information that has already been up there. So the Food and Drug Administration appears likely to move to ban menthol cigarettes this week. A step, blah blah. What? Oh, God, fuck me. A step experts say that has been years in the making and that could have a significant positive impact on the health of Black Americans. They done turned this shit into fucking race. I don't even understand. See, this is how they try to pander and get to people's heartstrings. Like, oh, I'm saving Black people by not having this menthol because Black people smoke menthol cigarettes. That's a fucking stereotype, right? That's a stereotype. That's like saying Black people eat watermelon all the time. It's just a fucking stereotype, right? It's just a fucking stereotype. They're literally being racist by saying this has a positive impact on the health of Black Americans. This is another one of those most racist fucking things you'll hear. But apparently, it gets more racist every fucking week. The FDA's decision would not ban menthol immediately. Okay, you hear that shit. The winds are definitely in our favor, said Del Monte Jefferson, executive director for the Center for Black Health and Equity. You see, these people, some people out there, they want to look at these black so-called social leaders, these social advocates and stuff. These people are sellouts, man, in the biggest term. And it's not just I'm not even talking about a racial term, just in the sense of they sell out their souls for money, for position titles, for social status. And they're sitting there trying to appeal to so-called black health, black people, wherever the fuck that means, right? Because there is no black Americans. There are no black health, right? That's not a thing. These are nonsensical terms, right? And for them to have some just because the dude is, I guess, is black too or whatever. I don't know. I'm assuming so because you're going to be executive director of a Center for Black Health. You probably should be so-called black as well, right? Then again, I'm sure there's some white man behind the scenes pulling the strings anyways, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm helping out the black community. No, you're not, man. You're selling your soul. And if you think you are helping out, well, you got played because that's just ignorant as fuck. Citing both the decades of data that they be pulling data out there. I swear they just pull this shit out their ass. They just throw it out there. This past year, all you've been hearing is trusted science and, oh, well, the data says or the study says. They're just pulling shit out their fucking ass, man. Both the decades of data that show that the cooling flavor in cigarettes make it easier to start smoking combined with the current cultural momentum toward improving the lives of black Americans. Smoking is a problem for everybody. I don't know. I don't know why you're going with just race there. I'm not gonna watch that video. It's talking about fuck that. I'll say when inhaled, menthol produces a cooling sensation in the throat, reducing the harsh taste of cigarettes and the irritation of nicotine. I'm pretty sure everybody smoked menthol. The vast majority of black smokers, 85%, use menthol cigarettes. How do you get that study? How do you get that type of observational thing? What do you do? What you do? Found 50 people, and then you got a percentage out of that 50 people observational study. And black men and women are much less likely than white Americans to be diagnosed with lung cancer at an early, potentially more treatable stage. Black men have the highest lung cancer death rate in the man. It's funny because while you're at the hospital, you're trying to go there to get treated. Meanwhile, they're too busy trying to put you down for statistical data. That's when they ask you what your race, ethnicity, so that I say nothing. I say other. Only thing I'll answer to is sex, male or female. That's it. Because obviously biological, physiological means. It might help. That's about it. But other than that, I don't say nothing for race. I say other. You're not gonna add me to your fucking stats. And have statements like this. Quote, when you combine high rates of smoking with systemic racism in healthcare systems, you have tremendous health disparity, said Erika Sward, National Assistant Vice President for Advocacy at the American Lung Association. Because you see, fake ass titles, stupid ass organization or association. Doesn't matter. American Lung Association. What the fuck does it have to do with anything? Both the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the National Institute of Health recently announced plans to address structural racism in healthcare. The reason why there's so-called racism in healthcare is because they take these data from people. Anytime I go to my cardiologist over the past year, or different cardiologists I go to the past year and stuff, anytime I say, oh yeah, heart problem, stuff like that, it's like, well, you know, black males or black males, black men, they tend to have different weird EKGs, stuff like that. It's kind of abnormal and stuff. Oh, thank you for, instead of paying attention to me, the individual, right? Paying attention to me, the individual, the environmental factors in my life, my military experience, my military career, the different places I've been around the world, instead of paying attention to all that different things, you know, like an actual fucking scientist, you're going to chop me down to, oh, I'm black, so that's probably why some shit like that is happening to me. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. That the structural racism they're talking about is built into it because they focus everything on race. Their data divides people up into race, into racial categories. The systemic racism is the healthcare system itself. What? Plans to address structural racism in healthcare because you're sitting there calling people Black Americans and Black Americans are the vast majority of Black smokers, 85% use menthol because you're doing shit like that. Because you're subjugating everybody to a racial category, you are making racism more prevalent. Because in every regular day life, nobody fucking pay attention to that shit for the most part. And if you do, you keep that shit to yourself in your head. Because I don't give a fuck if you think I'm not gonna go down right. I done ran plenty of times about race stuff. But it's stupid, man. Like they do it to themselves because this whole article keeps talking about Black people, Black Americans, right? Which is a nonsensical term. Doesn't exist. There are no Black Americans. There are no Black Americans. It's an oxymoron. Those two words do not go together because there are no Black people. There cannot be no Black Americans. That's not a real term. I get it. Some people are like, oh, well, Black people. There are no actual Black people. Be honest with you, you're ignorant for thinking that. And that's all it is ignorance. It's allowing yourself, I don't care who it comes from. I don't care who you are. Because I had to acknowledge this in my own self to be like, hey, I'm going along with these terms, these verbiages, these words that make no sense. There are no such thing. There is no such thing as a Black person, as a white person. They don't exist. White human beings don't exist. Black human beings don't exist. But because you make up these fake categories, now you're trying to categorize people based on superficial means instead of paying attention to their internal physiology as far as their organs, their DNA, their genetics, all that type of stuff. And it was a black trash bag because it's just flew by again. Or a plastic bag, a shopping bag, something like that. So you cause these issues, right? They're deliberately causing these issues on purpose. The real question should be why they want to do this shit. Fucking stupid ass shit, man. This whole thing is stupid. I'm not gonna read the rest of this shit. It keeps going on and stuff. And who writes this? A white woman. Oh, white that I just say pale or dark skin. A little bit of light brown, super pale, light brown skin, or really dark brown skin. Come on, man. Come on, man. Wait a minute. How you directly quote yourself in an article in which you wrote, but you quote yourself as like you're a third person? Right? Did she really do that, right? I just skipped past that quote. Yeah. It said Erica Seward. Okay, Erica Seward. This Erica Edwards wrote it. Erica Seward is somebody different. That's crazy because they spell their name exactly the same. What? Okay, but she's just Erica Edwards is a health and medical news writer and reporter for. Can I click on her name? Can I click on her profile or something? Cause what's a health? What is a health and medical news writer? Shouldn't you be a doctor? Shouldn't you be a doctor if you're gonna write an article like this? Or at least a nurse or some type of medical practitioner, something like that. Fuck this thing, man. Fuck the FDA. Fuck the FDA. Fuck the FDA. They want to ban menthol and stuff, but high fructose corn syrup runs amok. Red dye, 3, 6, whatever it is, runs amok. All the different things, and check out one of my past podcast episodes. All the banned foods around the world stuff that go fine in America and shit. The FDA has no problem with that shit. They won't even really define organic or natural and stuff, but yet they'll ban menthol. There's always a bigger play here. There's always a bigger play. The real question is, what is their actual main objective behind the scenes? COVID-19 and the racial awakening we had last summer. Oh, fucking God. These people are clowns, man. They're a complete joke. COVID-19 and the racial awakening we had last summer exposed the inequities in our system, Jefferson said. Menthol is just another example of the health inequities that have plagued African Americans for generations. Guess what? Don't smoke. There you go. End of story. End of story. Don't smoke. If you do smoke, you accept the risks that go along with smoking. Is once again, the government is telling you, hey, you don't know how to take care of yourself. You don't know how to live your life. You don't know how to make responsible decisions or be accountable for your actions. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. This is all, once again, this is literally the government saying, don't worry, you don't know how to make good choices for yourself. We'll take care of you. Whether you make good or bad choices doesn't matter, because those are your choices, and you assess your personal choices in your life. You know where you're at in life because the fucking things you did. Accept that shit. Move on from it. There's something I tell my kids all the time, like, hey, you know you fucked up. Don't sit here and cry. You fucked up. Now when they cry, it's because they realize they fucked up. I was like, okay, now that you realize you fucked up, be accountable, and now be responsible to try your best to not do that shit again. Because every day is a new day to try to be the best version of yourself. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. You don't need the government to tell you what to do and how to live your fucking life. These people ain't fucking experts at nothing. They just call themselves experts, right? How you be a self-proclaimed expert, right? How you gonna say you're an expert? Or other people be like, oh yeah, this expert. Well, what the fuck makes him an expert? Because you said so? How come how come it's not a majority consensus? Like, okay, yeah, this guy's been right a lot. How is Fauci considered an expert, but every time you turn around, the motherfucker's wrong? And he's not wrong by my definition. He's wrong by his own definition because he's always constantly changing what the fuck he says. So it's not my fault. That's just medical misinformation. I don't know. This is my opinion. Whatever. Okay, so last article here from NBC News yet again. 5 takeaways from Biden's first big speech to Congress. Now, if you're the so-called president of the United States, let me read what the subtitle says. It says, the president on the platform with 2 women and, oh, fuck this. Never mind. 2 women. Oh, wow, you got 2 women up there. Hand clap. No one gives a fuck, bro. No one gives a fuck. Because y'all a clown show. Literal clown show. Fucking clowns. That's not an iconic photo. I see 2, 3 dumbasses up there. Fucking clowns. Fucking people have no idea what's going on. Probably couldn't fucking tell their asshole from their face. I'm not paying attention to these fucking people. And you know what they keep calling? They just keep saying his speech. In his first big speech to Congress on Wednesday, President Joe Biden repeatedly spoke off the cuff. He read a speech. Off the cuff. They had like he fucking up there was doing some freestyling. He read a fucking speech. You know what's crazy about all this though? Here's the fucked up thing about all this. When a president addresses Congress, is that not the State of the Union? They refuse to call this the State of the Union in mainstream media. Yet another thing that makes you wonder, is he a legitimate legalized president? Because the attention is in the devil's in the details. Pay attention to the details. First big speech, that's a State of the Union address because he's speaking to Congress because he's the president of the United States, right? Or he's just president of the corporation, United States of America. Fuck it, they're going to take down my videos. They're going to delete my channel anyway. He's not president, man. He's not legitimate. He's illegitimate. He's illegitimate. It's all right there in the details, man. It's all right there in the details. They won't call it a State of the Union, but that's what it's supposed to be, a State of the Union. Let's see. Forgotten voters urging lawmakers to pass his multi-trillion-dollar economic agenda. Yeah, that's bullshit. Let's see. 5 takeaways, right? So it says morph crisis into opportunity. Great reset. Then they always say, I forget who made that quote originally, but you don't let a good crisis go to waste. Problem, reaction, solution. They already have a solution. They create these fake ass problems and stuff so they can come in and act like they're fucking heroes and shit. It said Biden highlighted the enormous crisis he inherited from the pandemic. I love that. Oh, I inherited this from the pandemic. Even with Trump, I inherited this. You know, doesn't matter, man. Look forward. Look forward. We can't. As a leader, you got to not talk about past mistakes of someone else or past choices, misdiscretions. I can't think of the word. Did I say that right? Whatever. No, you can't talk about other people's shit. You got to focus on what you can do now. That's it. It says, which he called the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. Oh, the Capitol siege. The Capitol siege had nothing happen, right? No, the person to get shot was Ashley Babbitt getting shot from the by the Capitol police officer or whoever, because we have yet to identify anybody or who the actual person was. The so-called officers that died or whatever, stroke, heart attack, whatever. It had nothing. Didn't get beat over the head with a fire extinguisher, so none of that should happen. Siege with no weapons, right? No guns, no fucking knives. Walk around, put their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk as they were let in the side of the building and stuff. Let in by guards and stuff. Velvet rope. Hey, yeah, y'all come in here. Yeah, you can do some shit over there. So just be careful. Don't touch everything. Oh, that's a real siege, man. If that's a siege, shit, then Genghis Khan must be turning around in his grave like, fuck. And that's all it takes to take over somebody and shit. Like, you call that a siege? Oh, man, that's fucking ain't nothing. Like a Trojan horse, right? This is easy as shit. Fucking stupid ass people, man. So it says, now after just 100 days, I can report to the nation, America is on the move again, turning peril into possibility, crisis into opportunity. Crisis into opportunity. There's no opportunity out of this other than the greatest generational transfer of wealth in modern human history. Or the greatest transfer of wealth in modern human history. That maybe, yeah. You're taking shit from the bankers or whoever you're taking it from. Fuck, this is so stupid, man. Setbacks into strength. He said, we all know life can knock us down, but in America, we never, ever, ever stay down. Woo. Woo, those are some powerful words right there, bro. Super. I feel extremely motivated right now. Listening to what he said, look at this man. I feel so motivated. He don't even know where the fuck he at. And the two clowns behind him sitting there biting their teeth, just like, oh, please don't say nothing fucking stupid. Please don't say nothing fucking stupid. Please don't say nothing fucking stupid. This is a joke, man. This is a joke. Most popular president in American history, though, right? Most popular. You know his videos got ratio. His live stream got ratio on YouTube and stuff. Go check the numbers. See all the downvotes and stuff. See all the downvotes. It says populist appeals to forgotten voters. A theme of Biden's first 100 days has been to appeal to Republican voters. Why has to be Republican voters? Why is it so? If you're not Democrat, you're automatically Republican. I'm not Republican. I voted. Why am I considered a Republican voter? I'm not voting anything outside of local legislation. And even then, I think that some of these people are clowns themselves. So I'm really be honest with you. I really just want the whole shit to just be done. Just blow up the whole system. I feel like I'd rather just take my chances in some anarchical form of society and stuff. And maybe we could have our own little local police and stuff like that, or neighborhood watch, something like that. I don't know, because then again, everybody got guns. You might be a little hesitant of what the fuck you gonna do, right? Because I'm done with all these governments, these systems and stuff like that. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm tired of all this shit, man. Because it's all economic reasons, anyways. They're all just making business deals to line their pockets, backdoor wise, something like that. Like we don't need these people trying to make laws or anything for us, man. Do what the fuck you want to do in your life. Do what the fuck you want to do in your life, man. What else it says? Fucking stupid ass. It says even if he can't win over their respective representatives in Congress, he kept that up in the speech by describing his plans as having been designed for Americans who feel forgotten. And the word former President Donald Trump often used to describe his voters. I know some of you at home are wondering whether these jobs are for you. So many of you, well, we know they're not for us. So many of the folks I grew up with feel left behind and forgotten in an economy that's rapidly changing. It's frightening, Biden said, calling his plan a blue-collar blueprint to build America. A blue-collar blueprint to build America. He said that 90% of the new jobs wouldn't require college degrees, and that 75% wouldn't require associate's degrees. People think that's a good thing. All that is setting you up to be replaced by automation. Because what they're saying is, oh, you know, your job's not that complicated because you don't need no advanced training, nothing like that. So, because he's not saying no technical degrees, on hand training, on the job skills. At least in the little this excerpt, he's not saying that. I don't know if he said it throughout the rest of the speech, but I mean the way things going, I don't see that happening. And it's funny because they want to have free college, and well, you should get a 2-year degree, associate's degree. Private college, fucking stupid. You're gonna be replaced by automation, just like at McDonald's. Why am I going to use the cashier when I can sit here and type the shit on the screen anyways? And I can take my time, and I can make sure it's correctly inputted. It says, and Biden used populist rhetoric targeted at as much at Trump supporters or Trump voters in conservative strongholds as at liberals in cities like New York or Portland. Wall Street didn't build this country. The middle class built this country, and unions built the middle class. Unions built the middle class. Oh, fuck me. Unions built the middle class. Unions built the middle class. Okay, no, whatever. Similar approach as the 1.9 trillion law. Biden continued to walk a fine line between encouraging bipartisan discussions about alternatives or changes to his American Jobs Plan and making it clear that he believes an aggressive approach is necessary. I applaud a group of Republican senators who just put forth their own proposals, so let's get to work. I hate when they're like, oh, let's reach across the aisle. All these presidents like, oh, let me reach across the aisle to the Republican side. Let me reach across the aisle to the Democratic side. Fuck this. I'm tired of this two-party system. I don't understand. There should be no fucking party. I don't understand why they even having a party and stuff. I guess to represent this party represents your certain values. To me, none of this shit works. None of this shit works because they all do the same fucking thing, right? Republicans are continuing to become more and more bigger government when they're supposed to be smaller government because you have so many so-called Republicans that sell out. In fact, the names don't even mean anything anymore. Republican, Democrat, they don't actually mean anything anymore. They don't mean anything. And to the average person, the voter stuff, the definition of those things only means something to which generation you were born in. Because Republican stuff for me means smaller government. So Democrat to me seems people that are more about liberty, even though Republicans are about liberty as well. None of this shit makes sense when you think about it, man. None of it makes sense. Two women have historic first. They always got to have this first. It's always this is the first time we had this. Oh, first time. What the? They really put that in here. It says it was the first time in American history that two women sat on the dais behind the president. Vice President Kamala Harris, who ain't shit, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who's probably evil. She just looks evil, right? She got some shady things going on anyway. She say the most fucked up things too. Representing the line of succession to the Oval Office, both wore masks. Why did you have to put in there that both wore masks? Oh, great. They both follow their own rules. Cool. Right? They both follow their own rules on camera. So, as soon as those camera goes off, they all take that shit off and go about their day. They both follow their rules on camera. So fucking stupid, man. And it wasn't, it always got to be the first of this. Oh, first this. First so-called this. First that. It doesn't matter anymore, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those are superficial things like, if you're a male, you can do something. You're a female, you can do something, man. Do your job. Your job is to be a representative, right? You're supposed to be a representative of your so-called populace, of the nation and stuff. These people are not represented. They're up there applauding themselves, patting themselves on the back, smelling their own farts because they see themselves as rulers. They see themselves as above us regular people. These people are not experts. They're not nothing great. They're just shady-ass fucking people who are narcissistic. Everyone in Congress, everyone in politicians, everyone in government is a narcissist. Understand that. Whether they have good intentions or not, they're a narcissist. We just have to hope that they have good intentions. And hope is irrational. So we're all out here banking all of our lives though on the fact that we hope these motherfuckers are good enough people to make good decisions for everybody. And they don't get too power hungry or get drunk off their own power as well. They said, and it wasn't the only break from the past. Social distancing rules for the pandemic meant lawmakers had to ration invitations. Are you fucking serious? They had to ration invitations. Guests weren't allowed. Who the fuck want to be there anyways? Who the fuck want to? A usually packed chamber was limited to about 200 attendees. Who wants to be there anyways? Oh, I guess, Biden's so popular. That's why. He's so popular that he want to be there. Yeah, Biden goes off script again and again and again. You know why they highlighting that? To show that he has some kind of cognitive ability where, yeah, he can speak off script. He doesn't just have to read the script all the time. The fact that you have to say that shit is bullshit. The fact that you have to say that shit is bullshit. He's supposed to be able to go off script, right? He's supposed to be a great leader. He's supposed to be a president. He should already have these things in mind, just be able to speak freely. The president didn't appear to care much for sticking to his prepared remarks. There literally was a screen right in front of him. A little clear thing right there, that's literally a teleprompter. And if he went off script, he's kind of all over the place anyways. He made some revisions and plenty of additions along the way. When it's funny because they posted the script, right? The script surfaced online before the speech. So how we know that that's the exact same thing he had? That these so-called ad-libs were already written into him. No one knows the ad-lib other than him and the person who wrote the speech. That's it. No one else knows that shit. Oh my God. And the fact that you are pointing this out, you're just trying to spin a narrative in the mainstream media. When Biden made his case for raising taxes on upper earners and corporations to help pay for his proposals, he ad-libbed a message to left-wing figures in his own party who struggled, or who he suggested don't believe there should be billionaires. You don't believe there should be billionaires? And this goes along to me as well. Because at one point in time, I'm like, in recent years, I'm like, maybe there should be a cap on how much money you make. But I'm like, no, I'm not. That's stupid. That's stupid. Because if someone is able to attain that, they can attain it. Hell, hey, you play the game. And if you want that much money, good for you. Not everybody wants that much money. Not everybody needs that much money. It's all made up anyway. So what can you do with it? You have that much money, all you can do is just buy a bunch of shit that you don't fucking need. Because at some point in time, you can make enough money, you'll run out of shit that you want to buy. Right? And then after that point in time, I say generational wealth. You make that much money, you can pay all your offspring through generations will be set. And if that's your ultimate goal, then isn't that everybody's ultimate goal? But everybody has a certain number in which they want to make X amount of money. It says, sometimes I have arguments with my friends in the Democratic Party. He said, I think you should be able to become a billionaire and a millionaire. Well, yeah, because that's what he wants. That's what he is, right? So, of course, that's what his family is, right? He says, but pay your fair share. There is no such thing as a fair share of anything. Paying a fair share of taxes is not a fair share of anything. You're giving money to the government. You're not giving money back to the people. The money goes to the government, and the government decides what the fuck they want to do with it. When he made his case that restrictions on military-like assault-style weapons wouldn't offend responsible firearm owners, Biden ad-libbed another familiar line not in his prepared remarks. What do you think deer are wearing? Kevlar vests? I'm done, man. I'm done. Biden's a fucking clown. The whole system's a clown. Burn the whole fucking system down. YouTube ain't shit. They fucking suck. All this big tech censorship, everybody's a fucking idiot. All these people are clowns. The world is a stage. It's all fucking fake. These people are neurotic. They don't give a fuck. They're narcissistic. They don't give a shit about anybody. And they're too prideful. They want to rule the world. They want to to be drunk off power and crave more power. They want this illusion that they're above everybody, but their power is perceptional at best. It's not realistic. It's not actuality. It's not practicality. Fuck these people. Then kiss my ass. Screw that shit. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'll be back Monday. Actually, I won't be back Monday. I have an appointment for my house construction, so I won't be back Monday. But I will be back Tuesday. I might try to make some videos and stuff just to continue to have content. I'll probably be shut down on YouTube. So if you happen to see my shit on YouTube, don't be surprised if I'm not there no more. And I'm not allowed to upload for a week or something like that. But you can always find my content on Odyssey. You can go ahead and check that out. Damien, I think it's Damien_Jackson or Damien Jackson, whatever. Check out my blog site, DamienJackson22.com, DAMIEN, Jackson22.com. It has the links to my social media accounts and different ways you listen to the podcast. Man, just pay attention to what's going on in the world, but become more of an individual. Become more assertive in your own life and your own personal choices. Rely on yourself. Do your own research. Think for yourself. Do not listen to these stupid ass, fuck ass people that don't give a shit about you, man. They don't give a shit about you. They sit there in their little holy, higher than thou, or hell, whatever, in their little cathedral, in their little castle, and like, oh, look at us. You know, we know what's best for the country and the world. I don't care who's sitting in the Oval Office. It doesn't fucking matter anymore, man. I'm tired of all this shit. I'm tired of hearing all these fucking people. I'm so fed up with these fucking politicians. All this shit, man. All this shit. No one needs to make decisions for you other than you yourself. The more laws they create, the more, I don't even care which side of the aisle, political aisle you're on. All these fucking laws, it's one law to counteract another law that will eventually be counteracted by another law because cause and effect. So you make one thing, then another thing happens, and another thing happens, and another thing happens. All these laws that are out the ass. Fuck all this shit, man. Just live your life. Live your life, man. Be you. Be wherever the fuck you want to be. And if your shit don't make sense to me, guess what? It just doesn't make sense to me. But you go off and do your own fucking thing. I don't live your life. Just because I don't agree with that shit, it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I can't be cordial with you, respect you, and be kind to you. This fucking world is, I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Downfall of humanity. I'm calling it. I want to have hope. But I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know. Everybody needs to just stop listening to these fucking people and, I don't know, take your ass outside. Go on a walk. Enjoy the sun. Do something. I don't know, man. Whatever. So until next time.